Breaking news, federal law enforcement currently executing search warrants at over a dozen Zips locations based on an investigation into felony violations of federal law.
Hours later, Governor Katie Hobbs posted to social media saying she is in touch with federal officials and still gathering information on the purpose and scope of the raid. She expressed frustration with a lack of adequate notification.
They weren't aggressive. It's probably about like 20 of them that walked in, and they walked in and asked for leadership, and then the leadership seamlessly walked around and explained to the patrons that we needed to close our tabs and leave. And I overheard, them indicating that the reason for being there was to investigate identity theft.
Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment this video, share this video. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. All right, get to Zips. Zips in Arizona got raided like nobody's business. 38 arrests in this crackdown. I've never been to Zips. Maybe I went the one time, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Zips, but I see it all the time. They're all over Phoenix, Arizona. And so they went through methodically and busted Zips. And mind you, where are all the people out here getting shot by ICE? Where they at? Where they at, y'all? Where they at, Shawty? Where they at? They look like they executed a successful raid, multiple locations, hit at one time, 38 arrests, nobody got shot. Roll the clip.
Breaking news, federal law enforcement currently executing search warrants at over a dozen Zips locations. It's a sports bar and restaurant across the valley. 12 News has crews at 7 Zips. This is Sky 12. This is the Zips at near Camelback and Miller in Scottsdale. And again, a federal law enforcement presence. We can't see a lot of activity there. Details are still limited, but the U.S. Attorney's Office tells us that Homeland Security agents are serving search warrants at those 15 locations based on an investigation into felony violations of federal laws. We're getting reports of similar scenes at other Zips locations, working to learn more information.
All right, we're going to head out to Gabriela Becerra. Gabby is live out at one of the locations in Phoenix. Gabby, which location are you at exactly, and what's happening there?
Crebe, we're at the Park Central location, and right now kind of a protest has formed outside of this Zips location. I'm going to step out of the way so you can have a closer look. We could see some federal agents inside of the restaurant. There's kind of a glare on the windows, so kind of hard to see exactly what they're doing. Appear to be kind of standing around in there right now. I can tell they have that HSI gear on, and some have face masks on. Out here, though, I'd say a couple dozen people have already started forming. What I'm told is that there was a protest, an anti-ICE protest happening just down the street when they got word that this was happening here at the Zips location. And so that protest moved this way. But a lot of these people are also people who tell me they were going to the gym that was right next door. So they're stopping just to see what's going on. Some of them joining the protest. And so we're still working to get more information out here. We've been talking to some of these people, and we'll share that with you as soon as we have it.
Yeah, I was wondering how people got out there as quickly as they did, but they were right down the street protesting, and so that's the one location out of 15.
Yeah, that's right. We've been told that we don't know a lot, obviously, now, but Homeland Security agents were serving search warrants into 15 locations there of Zip. So apparently it's an investigation into some sort of felony violations of federal laws.
Let me give y'all a hint, because I do this, you know what I mean? For you to get 15 locations, search warrants signed by a judge, they doing some arresting for some serious sugar honey iced tea. You cannot get signed search warrants to do a simultaneous raid because a judge has to approve the simultaneous raids too. You guys have literally sold past half of our inventory in pre-order in 1 week. 1 week, Verdict has sold past half of all of our inventory. Like, we got to restock. You guys are getting ready to sell us out. And if you want to get Verdict shipped to you during the pre-order period, which I think is going to be at the end of this week, it's going to start shipping out. If you want the Verdict, you better get on there and get some today because we're going to sell out.
So make sure, if you're interested, go on. You must be 21 and over, obviously, but you make sure you drink responsibly. We don't do the irresponsible drinking. We don't do the drinking to get drunk and intoxicated. Pre-order today.
They not only have to prove with an affidavit of proof of probable cause of why you need to do what you're going to do. A lot of times, let me explain this just real quick, bro. Let me give me 45 seconds. You don't get a search warrant because a cop say, I think somebody doing something in there. You don't get a search warrant that way. A lot of times we have informants. We got people inside wearing wires, gathering deep information for years. And they compile all of that information into a document that they present to a judge. And a judge, with the probable cause statement that you have, they have to give authority to execute a warrant. And executing a warrant on one location isn't as hard as two. Then you go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 locations at one time is exigent. You have to articulate very clearly that the reason that you want to hit this one and this at the same time is because there could be destruction of evidence or something of that nature once they find out that they hit one zips, because it's a ring of zips in a coordinated effort that are violating federal law. Now let's get to my brother from another mother with the salt and pepper. Let's get the salt and pepper and see what he got to say. Roll it.
They weren't aggressive. It's probably about like 20 of them that walked in, and they walked in and asked for leadership, and then the leadership, seamlessly walked around and explained to the patrons that we needed to close our tabs and leave. And I overheard, them indicating that the reason for being there was to investigate identity theft.
When I went over there to check the back what was going on, I saw the restaurant next door, Federico's, had already cleared out and locked up what was going on. I was coming back over and I was looking through the windows and I saw there were still people eating in there. One of the agents asked me if I was waiting for somebody to clear out of there. I said no, we literally just finished eating and we walked out when they started taping off the parking lot. And now that's where we're at right now.
And nobody's hurt. Nobody's assaulted. Nobody's get out of their way and let them do their job. And you know what's funny is that they said that they were investigating identity fraud. How do you not know that Zips was running a major identity fraud scam, getting the identities of hundreds of thousands of people in the Valley and sending your information and using your credit cards and all kind of stuff? And you stupid mofos will go out there and protest against them, and they are arresting people that defrauded you. This how stupid it has gotten. I swear God is my witness. They down the street, a guy has manipulated, mutilated, or something on a kid, and they out here protesting. Viva Treste, we want peace. Get out of our city. What are you saying? They not just getting search warrants because they want to eat chicken fried steak on a weekend. They are legitimately investigating crimes that a judge looked at and signed off on the arrest warrant and the use of force. Come on, give me some more clips. Give me some more clips. Look at them. Y'all ain't gonna make heaven acting like this. Roll it.
How do you guys do it? I know you're Rasta. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on you for arresting for fraud.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Oh, Jesus of magic. Help us. Shame on you for arresting fraudulent money launderers that's stealing your identity and selling it. Half of the people out there are wondering why they can't file their taxes this year. Because somebody just stole your identity, but you out here mad when they arrest the people that stole your identity. Keep going.
At this point, it's still unclear what they were looking for. Now, there are a total of 15 Zips locations here across the Valley, 5 in Phoenix, 5 in Scottsdale, 1 in Glendale, 2 in Tempe, 1 in Chandler, and 1 in Gilbert, which is video that you're looking at right now. This is where I was for a good portion of the afternoon before coming to Tempe. We were in Gilbert with that similar situation happening. We saw HSI coming out of the Zips location, and some investigators were holding bags of stuff, but it's not clear what was inside those bags.
Of course it's not clear.
At one
Stupid, it's an
point, I spoke
investigation.
to an emotional employee who says she was asked questions, including her immigration status.
I don't know. They just came in, just like nothing. It's like we're looking for someone. We're looking for something. Someone's making fraud or something, whatever. I had no idea I was cooking. And then they just like, you know what? We need everybody out. Like, they got everyone out. Like, everybody got so mad about it. Like why do we have to get out, you know? And they were recording and stuff, but they just were rude.
They asked you your immigration status, and you shocked. Woman, English is your second language for sure, and you're shocked. If you're a citizen, just pull your ID out. But these people, roll the clip.
ABC 15 sat down with a former ICE agent who worked under different administrations, at one time even here in the Valley.
It is really unprecedented.
That's how Eric Odenius describes the scale of enforcement we've seen in places like Minneapolis. He says what happened with Zips reminds him of investigations involving employment forms like I-9s, which require a specific warrant.
And if the judge signs off on it, that's their probable cause to go and search. They can contain the scene, they can interview everybody there, and they can arrest anybody that's there in violation of law. They can also search anywhere a person could reasonably be found.
He says serving coordinated warrants, like we saw Monday, takes planning and manpower. Tuesday, I reached out to Homeland Security and the U.S. Attorney's Office with a long list of questions, including how many people were detained. But our questions went unanswered. Monday, community members and even U.S. lawmakers shared a message. They're calling on Arizona leaders to take a stand and speak out. Hours later, Governor Katie Hobbs posted to social media saying she is in touch with federal officials and still gathering information on the purpose and scope of the raid. She expressed frustration with a lack of adequate notification.
Yeah. You want them to do a commercial? Let's do an ad on ABC 15 notifying the state that you're going to do a raid at Zips. Are you that stupid and dense? Clearly, they don't want it to get leaked. They're trying to hit 15 places at one time. What notification do you think they're going to give? Because y'all sorry self will be telling people and mess up the whole thing. Now, Grant, I'm going to need you to read this for me because it's the font is very small, and the people may not be able to see it, and I definitely can't see it. So, Grant, if you can read that, and this is a letter specifically from Zips, wrote a clip.
To our valued customers, we are aware that federal authorities executed court-authorized search warrants at a number of our locations on January 26 as part of an ongoing investigation. Federal officials have not shared details regarding the nature of the investigation, and no charges or allegations have been announced. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement and working closely with our attorneys to understand the scope of the inquiry. Because this is an active matter, we are unable to comment further at this time. Zip Sports Grill locations are currently closed, but we are working to reopen by the end of the week. We will notify our customers as soon as we resume normal operations. Over the past 24 hours, some individuals have gathered near our locations to demonstrate. We respect the right to peacefully expression and ask that everyone exercise caution and remain respectful of neighboring businesses, employees, and the surrounding communities. Thank you, Zip Sports Grill.
So I think that, thank you, Grant. I think that's reasonable, right? Cooperating investigation. They know they out here investigating them for a reason. That's how they got a search warrant at 15 locations.